Doing the computer audio. Okay, you guys should be good to go. Okay. Give me about 60 seconds and you guys can go ahead and start. Our names and I are knocking. Do your thing. Good luck, guys.
Thank you.
Not a big football guy, just refresh the memory. Aaron Rodgers, quarterback of the Packers.
Quarterback, yeah.
Gotcha. Just making sure.
He's like in his early 40s, like lost to the Buccaneers in the NFC Championship. Really talented,
Yeah.
very good. And his contract expired today, which is good. I think it is kind of nice that Tyler's not in here.
I do too. Yeah.
I mean, that very well could just be in here normally.
Definitely.
There it is.
You
They're
ready?
gonna be loud. I'm gonna talk louder.
Sit here patiently. Doing work, hard work right now, waiting for my meeting.
Okay. Oh, that's a hard trick move.
I know.
All right. We're winners.
Yes, sir. All right, it's open.
Hi there, Mr. Bryan. My name is RJ Appleberry.
Hi, RJ. Nice to
Mind
meet
if
you.
I pop squat?
Yeah, go ahead. Take a seat.
Awesome. Thank you. How are you doing today?
I'm doing all right. I can't complain. How about yourself?
I'm good. It's Friday, and I've had a lot of coffee today.
Hey, it's a good start to the morning, man.
Absolutely, absolutely. So I was looking on your LinkedIn profile. I saw you went to University of Wisconsin-Madison. If you do the math, does that make you a Packers fan?
Yeah, I'm a huge Packers fan. I'm not gonna lie. I'm the guy in the stands wearing the all green with the Chiefs hat on.
Good, good. I must ask, how are you adjusting to Chiefs country?
You know,
Tread lightly.
yeah, that's exactly what I was trying to do. Chiefs fans aren't awful, but it is a little strange to be away from my people.
Yeah.
Without a doubt.
I'm sure that it is. Well, hopefully you'll assimilate a little bit better. I'm just making sure 15 minutes is still okay for you today, correct?
Yeah, 15 minutes should work. Perfect.
Awesome, awesome. Well, today really just what I want to do is learn more about how your career services department essentially just does your job, how you reach students, how you help students, reach their goals, stuff like that. So I'm legally obligated to ask, how familiar are you with UpperCampus?
You know, to be honest, I didn't know anything about it before you reached out.
And that is okay, because I have all the knowledge up here. So just quick background, we provide resources to students who are searching for colleges or career paths, kind of helps them take those next steps after they graduate high school and achieve their professional goals. Do you mind if I ask you a couple questions just so I can learn more about your guys' department?
Oh, go right ahead.
Awesome. Okay. So I was looking at your guys' website and I saw that you have about 20,000 students, give or take. And if I'm not mistaken, you only have 3 career services counselors?
Yeah, those numbers sound about correct.
All right. Will you tell me how your 3 counselors take on that many students?
Oh, well, I mean, as you can imagine, the ratios don't really work out quite correctly there. So our counselors honestly can't devote that much time to individual students.
Yeah, absolutely. So because of that, what frustrations do you think these students might have towards, your school, your department?
Well, I mean, there's all kinds of frustrations and stresses that go along with the college process, but not being able to access your counselor to figure out what it is you're going to do there at college or there in the future can be an added stress to students.
Absolutely. Being a student's hard enough. How do you think that stress or that negative attitude would impact student retention?
Well, it definitely doesn't help JCCC. We're not like your typical university. So when students come here and they're not getting the resources they need to be professionally developed, truthfully, they just leave.
Huh. Yeah, that makes sense. What would it mean to your guys' department, to your university as a whole, if you guys had a program that allowed students to do their own kind of research and not have to rely on counselors?
That would mean a lot. First and foremost, coming to college, we're giving these new young adults an opportunity to be autonomous. And having to rely on our very few counselors makes it difficult for them to be as autonomous as they need to be at college.
Yeah, for sure. Moving on, how do your school, how do you guys market yourselves to kind of try to get students coming in?
Oh, truthfully, I'm not a fan of marketing at all. I've had to be involved with it recently, but we really don't do anything cutting edge, just your typical flyers and brochures.
Right. And what kind of issues have you had with those methods?
I mean, honestly, in my opinion, they're not very effective at all. When students from high school go to college advisor centers, there's a bunch of other colleges giving out the same brochures, and I find that we often just fall in the middle of the pack or in the trash.
Yeah, yeah. You mentioned that you do part of the marketing. How could you better spend your time if you didn't have to worry about making these brochures?
Well, like I said, I do not like marketing at all. I mean, it is not my job title. I'm always happy to help, but if I could just take that off of my plate, I'd be able to focus on a lot more of my specific responsibilities moving forward for our university.
Absolutely, absolutely. What would it mean to your university to see enrollment come back up?
I mean, that would mean a lot. First off, as soon as you say enrollment's going up, that means we're getting more money. So more money means more funding, and it gives us the ability to give our students more to do.
Absolutely. I'm sure that would affect student attitude positively. Moving on, how do you guys, like your department, how do you guys help students learn about different career paths?
So currently, all we really do is students can either schedule a meeting or have a walk-in with one of our counselors. And then throughout that meeting, the counselor can give them a gist of what to expect coming out.
Okay. What kind of issues come along with students taking the wrong classes if they're not able to meet with your department?
Oh, I mean, the biggest one is a waste of time. Like I said, we're not like your traditional universities. So a lot of students are coming here to see if they want to go to one of those traditional universities. And if they're wasting their time and money on classes that they didn't need to take, then they're not going to want to stay at JCCC or go anywhere farther.
Absolutely. How would it help students and counselors if students were able to do their own research about future plans?
Well, first and foremost, you give our counselors a lot more freedom because they wouldn't have to be focusing on 20 to 30,000 students at any given time.
Yeah.
And then the students get to take some responsibility in planning their own career path. So they have their own ability to go through and make choices for themselves rather than relying on someone else.
Absolutely. So thank you for taking the time to answer this.
Yeah,
so what I'm hearing is that your counselors are under a lot of pressure trying to reach all these students and really truly accurately help them. And then your students are kind of unsure of where they're going, and they need these resources to determine career paths, and you want something that kind of could boost enrollment.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that sounds great to me.
Absolutely. So with that in mind, are you interested in learning more about what UpperCampus could offer you guys' school?
I'm definitely interested in learning more.
Awesome. All right, well, I'll give you a brief overview. We were started a few years ago by 3 dads who were inspired when their kids went into higher education and some of the issues that they faced. They come from backgrounds in Facebook and Oracle and Google, so they're experts. I don't know a whole lot about the back end of that kind of stuff, but they know a lot. And like I mentioned, we are a startup company, but we've already partnered with over 500 schools and countless employers across the nation. So there's been really positive buy-in so far. So with that being said, excuse me, I will go ahead and pull up and kind of give you a quick demonstration. So it's just a mobile app on your phone, your tablet, or anything. And you see you got the bottom ribbon, your home screen with your feed, search bar, you can save some stuff here. And then you also have your personal profile. So, let's say we want to look into, let's look into Baylor since they just won the men's basketball championship. So you can see right here, number of undergrads, location, tuition costs, SAT, ACT scores, general information, admission information, and then more specific financial information. So as you can see, they just kind of have everything you need to know right here in this area. And you can also search up different employers, different industries, careers, majors, really the world is your oyster. You can learn all about it here in this app. So a couple features that I think you might be interested in is save posts. When you go to the search tab, you can save a post. So you can save posts from employers. You can save, specific schools, specific majors, anything like that. So how that could benefit your students is, at home, they're on the upper campus and they're learning and stuff, and they're like, oh, I really like this place. I want to work there. And so then when they come in and they have an appointment with your advisors, be like, hey, Miss Advisor, look what I have here. And then they can just, really get on the same page super quick. And that saves time, that saves effort on the counselor's point or perspective, be beneficial in that way. Second, that like we looked at Baylor, having that college profile, it puts you in front of your students' eyes or prospective students, and it tells them all the information that they need to know right then and there. So you don't have to sift through, looking at university websites. There's so much information on that website, you don't even know where to start. And then third, with the college profile, it makes it a lot more accessible to students to see, those fast facts, like, will this be a good fit, will it not be? And then finally, up-to-date content. So like any social media, it's organized by relevancy. It's not like you find something from 20 years ago that's not even pertinent to the industry today. So you can be assured that your students will have, super up-to-date content and it'll actually help them in their research. So we have all of that. There's a couple other things, but overall, I think it would provide you guys with a marketing platform to help reach prospective students. Maybe non-traditional students are wanting to come back to college, but they don't want to commit to university, or high school graduates who aren't ready to move away from home, or they don't want to spend that much money on a university. So I think that would definitely help you guys enrollment, and also it would just give students the autonomy, like you were saying, and reduce pressure on students and on the counselors.
Definitely. I mean, that all sounds really great. Anytime we can get an opportunity to allow our faculty and staff to do their job is better for our students. So.
Absolutely. So I'm glad that you like what I'm saying. I'm sure you're wondering how much it costs. I'm sure that's been burning a hole.
Always.
So as you can see, we've got two main packages. We have the basic package, we have the premium package. Prices are right there, $1,500 and $3,000. So how basic works is every student is able to make their own account, and then you can just kind of see the posts that they save. You can schedule events, you kind of have a calendar. So that's all for basic. All of this is included in premium, but then you have a thing called the iCard tool, which helps you send out messages to your entire student body and kind of streamlines that communication. Then you have the alumni mentor tool. I'm not sure what your guys' alumni situation is, but sometimes, when you leave community college, you never look back. So that can kind of help you keep tabs with them, see where they end up, see if they want to donate back to the school. And finally, what you should really take a look at is the college profile tool. Kind of like we looked at Baylor's. It just puts all the information right there in a nice, pretty package for students who are looking at your school. I really do think this is going to help you guys with enrollment. I think, as long as like 2 students see it, that's 2 students that wouldn't otherwise have come to Johnson County if it weren't for UpperCampus. So I did some more research on your guys' website. A Johnson County resident, credit hour tuition is $94. That's the cheapest. We're not even going to look at out of state. So say we have a full-time student taking 15 hours, that's $1,410. Say they take a full year, that's $2,800. That's $3,000, and that's $2,800. One student coming for a full year essentially pays for itself. Say you have 10 students who come just for a semester, there's $14,000 divided by the 3,000. That's almost a 500% return on investment. So there's truly it truly can be a limitless return on investment if you let it. So I know I've thrown a lot of information at you. Do you have any kind of questions or concerns or anything?
Yeah, there's just one thing kind of holding me back right now. I'm worried that our students won't really use this, and so we won't really get the return on investment that you were talking about.
Right. So just to clarify, you're worried that you spend this money on this, you invest in UpperCampus, and then there's no return on investment because students don't use it.
I'm just worried it's a lot like a social media platform, which I understand, but because you add the academics in that, it seems like they might not be as willing to use it.
Right. And that's a fair point to make. I mean, students use social media all the time, but do they use like LinkedIn or like other academic social medias? I will say, recently, I think it was a couple months ago, I met with someone in your position at a community college in St. Louis, and it was a follow-up meeting. And they said they ended up going with the premium, and they said that they were able to get like 60% of their entire, or not 60, 70% to make a an account, and then like 65% to actively use it, which means they look at it at least once a week. And there was the same situation in Des Moines. They had over 80% make a profile, and then 70 or 75% actively use it. So they've had a lot of positive experiences, and being community college in the Midwest, I don't see why it could be any different for your guys' school.
Honestly, yeah, that was kind of one of the things that I was worried about. To me, this seems very Silicon Valley, and I just didn't know how that would adapt in our Midwest culture.
Right. There's definitely appreciation among students just to kind of streamline the college search process, and even the industry search process after college. So did that answer your question?
Yeah, definitely. I appreciate you being willing to explain that to me.
Awesome. Well, if you don't have any other questions, Mr. Bryant, UpperCampus extends the opportunity to partner with your school.
I think I'd love to take that opportunity. Thank you.
Fantastic. Well, thank you for your time. I hope I stayed around 15 minutes. As far as next steps go, when I get back to the office, I'll email all the boring paperwork for you to look at, and then I'll set up a time I can come in and get your official autograph. Are you free next Friday at 11, 12 lunchtime area?
Let me check my schedule really quick. Looks like I am free around 12:30 on Friday.
12:30 it is. I will meet you back here, okay?
Yeah, back here is perfect.
Fantastic. Well, you can go ahead and keep that. I'll email all that stuff like I said earlier. And thank you again for your time.
I will. Thank you.
You have a great rest of your
You have
day.
a good rest of your day as well.
I'll see you next week.
All righty.
How's that?
Good work. I think that was really good.
I do too. I felt.
So do I get some setup time, or are we just like?
Good job, RJ.
We get setup time?
Thanks. How did you time that?
I don't know how to time on Zoom. I was just Googling that actually, but I think you had plenty of time. You're totally
Okay.
fine.
Because we practiced earlier today, and I was at like 18 minutes. So
All good. No worries.
sweet.
Good luck, Gabe.
Thank you. Let me just set up here. Just gonna pretend I walked in with that,
Okay.
but too much in my hands.
Right.
Quick sip of water. A lot of talking today.
I agree.
I'm trying to lose the pen. It's an important key to my success.
Do manager stuff. Come on in.
Hi, Dr. Appleberry. My name is Gabriel Piccioni with Enterprise. Do
Hi,
you mind if I
Gabe.
take a seat?
Go right ahead.
All righty, thank you.
Yeah, how are you, Gabe?
I'm doing all right. How are you doing today?
I'm good. I've had a lot of coffee. It's Friday. The weekend's approaching.
Hey, weekend's approaching. Gotta love that.
Absolutely.
So I had the opportunity to take a look at your LinkedIn page, and I saw that you graduated from Mizzou.
I did.
So I wanted to ask, what's it like being a Jayhawk now?
Well, I really do like the atmosphere. I think Kansas City is a very unique city, and UMKC is a very unique college. It's a great atmosphere, lots of great students. Overall, I'm glad to kind of stay within Missouri.
So I also read on your LinkedIn page that before you came to higher education, you actually had work in the technology industry. And I kind of just wanted to understand a little bit of how that differs from what you do now and how you like it.
Right. So like you said, I was in the technology industry. I did a lot of, IT work and kind of some innovation work with a lot of Fortune 500 companies. Definitely really cool experience. But I mean, I was working with a lot of computers and technology, and it's like I kind of wanted something more personal, more fulfilling. So I came into higher education, and now I'm CIO for UMKC. And honestly, it's the rewarding, work that I was wanting to get in. I wanted to help people. And so I feel like I'm helping students out.
Well, that's awesome. And I'm sure UMKC feels lucky to have someone with your background.
They better.
If you don't mind, I'd like to jump right into this short meeting. Does 15 minutes still work for you?
Yeah, totally cool.
All right, great. I'm just going to set a quick agenda for you. First, I'm just going to quickly overview Enterprise and kind of gain your knowledge on what you know about them. And then I'm going to ask you some questions that specifically pertain to UMKC. After that, I'm going to go through a bit more of an in-depth product overview.
Okay.
And then I'm going to give you a product demonstration, quick price overview, and then we'll see where we're at after that. Does that sound good?
Sounds great. Let's do it.
All righty, great. So what do you know about Enterprise?
Oh, I know that you can rent a car. I think that's about it.
Well, here at Enterprise, we really try to accomplish two things.
Okay.
We want to be the best transportation provider out there, and we want to continually exceed our customers' expectations for quality, service, and value. So our car share program specifically helps universities solve some common problems that they might be facing. Speaking of that, I'd like to jump right in and ask you a few questions about your specific university.
Answers.
So right now on the UMKC campus, what type of transportation options do you currently provide for students?
We don't directly provide any to our students, but with your student ID, students are able to get access to all public transportation.
Awesome, great. So my experiences with public transportation in the past have been kind of wishy-washy. I was wondering if you could explain a little bit about the reliability of public transportation for your students.
Right. Like you said, it's not super dependable. It's about 50-50. I know our students aren't super appreciative of the less than ideal reliability.
No, but you can't always blame all parties involved. The
Right.
human elements, and I know those buses try to keep schedule, but
Yeah.
sometimes with rush hour traffic in a big metropolitan city, it's just not possible.
Exactly.
So do you think you could estimate at all how this affects students' attendance?
Oh, wow. I don't think that I know the specific details on attendance rate or the correlation between the two, but I will say I have heard quite a few horror stories of students, being late for a class or an exam, and it throws a wrench in their whole week, and it's just not a good situation.
So what would it mean to your university and your students if we could help provide a more reliable transportation option for them?
I definitely mean a lot. It means students don't miss exams, on accident. I think it'd be awesome for them to not feel so stressed out of am I going to make it to class on time, and not have to take that kind of gamble.
Definitely. And gambling is not something you want to do when you're paying so much to go to college and earn a degree. Well, I really appreciate that we had some time to focus on some students, but I'd like to address the faculty and staff at your university. So what sort of transportation options do you provide for them?
So to answer your question, not a whole lot. We have a small maintenance fleet, and we have some minor options for faculty, but really at the end of the day, they really just use their own vehicles.
Okay. How often are your faculty members traveling for university sponsored events? And then how are they getting to those events currently?
Right. So we really try to keep our faculty sharp and help them professionally develop. So there's a lot of conferences and professional development events that we send them to probably a few times a semester, but they take their own cars to get there.
Okay. So what kind of costs are associated with having your faculty members drive their own vehicles? And then do they ever experience issues when driving their own vehicles?
Right. So direct costs are, essentially just gas, but indirect costs could be, that contributes to needing an oil change faster, having to replace your tires faster. So there's those maintenance costs associated with it. And we do have reimbursement forms, but that really just covers the gas thing that it's all used.
Gotcha. I understand that. So what would it mean to your university if we could provide a safer, more cost-effective method for your faculty to travel to these university-sponsored events?
Right. I'll tell you what, we here at UMKC, we like to save money. I'm sure a lot of people like to save money, but especially if not only can we save money and preserve safety, but if I don't have to put, 100 miles on my car every month, there you go.
Definitely. So here at Enterprise, I've had the unique opportunity to work with so many different schools in metropolitan areas. And one consistent fact that I've seen in all of them, and I would like to ask you is, what is the parking like on your campus?
That's a sore subject. It's horrible. It's awful. It is the number one complaint from students we get.
So if it's the number one complaint, would you say this is an everyday issue, an every week issue?
It's definitely an everyday. There's not a single faculty person, like from president to janitor, who does not know that this is a pressing issue.
So since everybody does know that this is an issue, have there been any talks of solutions to help solve it?
Yeah, we have regular meetings like every other week or so to kind of address it. And recently we decided on, although it's expensive, I think our best bet would be to just construct a parking garage.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, which is, if the construction is going to make parking exponentially worse for a couple of years, and that's going to cost us probably at least $8 million.
Wow, okay.
Yeah.
So having gone over that, what would it mean to your university to be able to provide parking without having to write a check for the total balance of something like $8 million?
Well, I mean, right off the bat, it would save us $8 million that we could invest in the library or in the rec center or, technology that we offer on campus. And it could save us a lot of money, and it'd be the nightmare of building a parking garage haunts me.
Yeah, I'm sure. I mean, you have to take into all kinds of different human elements that we talked about with the public transportation in the first place. But I wanted to thank you for taking the time to explain some of these issues. It's helping me realize that enterprise car share sounds like it could be a really good fit for the University of, or UMKC. And I was wondering if you would be willing to learn a little bit more about that now that we've kind of gone through some of these questions.
Absolutely. I'd love to hear more about car share and what you guys have to offer us.
So I'm going to cut back quickly to my agenda, and this is where I'm going to give you that product overview that I talked about. So a quick history is Enterprise Car Share actually started a car sharing program back in 2005, but it initially just looked like the hourly rental of Enterprise's vehicles. Throughout the years, Enterprise Car Share has adapted and evolved. It was first named in 2007 as WeCar, and throughout the acquisition of many smaller individual car sharing companies located in cities, we have advanced it to the point where it is today, and we call it car share. So kind of just based on today's conversation, I'm thinking that car share can help with your parking.
Okay.
I think it can help save you costs with faculty travel. And I think it's going to give your students a more reliable, safer means of transportation moving forward. So now that we've kind of gone over a quick overview, I want to go ahead and give you a quick product demo.
Okay.
Now I'm going to go ahead and pass over the top part of my screen here, and I'm going to allow you just to kind of putz through that at your own leisure while I kind of explain some of the things that you might be seeing. So first and foremost, Enterprise Car Share is an app. All the rentals are done through this app, so it's completely autonomous.
Okay.
You don't need to call anyone. You don't need to go to any enterprise facility. You just log on through the app through your university. Once you're a registered member, you're able to rent any cars moving forward.
Okay.
Now, next, that rental process is extremely easy. You apply, you get approved, and then you can reserve.
Okay.
So to reserve a vehicle, you go on the app, choose your time, choose your location, your university, whatever it may be, and then you go to this vehicle at your allotted time. And on the vehicle, there's all kinds of high technology. First, you'll see in the next slide, there's a square box on the windshield. You hold up your membership ID card, and it unlocks the car for you.
Okay.
Once the car is unlocked, in the glove box, there's a key fob that's plugged in. you'll remove the key fob and then use that like normal for the duration of your ride. You can unlock the car, lock the car, take the fob with you, whatever it may be. When you return, when you are finished with your rental and you are going to return the car, you replace the key fob back into its electronic holder, then use your member card to lock the vehicle before you leave. And that's simply it. With those quick steps, you can be on the move, going wherever you need to go for however long you need to go at any point of the day or night.
Okay. Nice.
I kind of want to hop in to some of the specific features that I think are going to specifically benefit UMKC.
Okay.
First of that being the parking. So one enterprise car share car can take up 20 parking spots. So if you have a crowded apartment parking lot, you could put 6 vehicles in there and free up 120 spots. Another feature that I mentioned before was the autonomous feature of renting the vehicle. It allows your students to do everything by themselves without needing any help or having to go anywhere. So what would it mean to your university if it didn't have to maintain a fleet of cars? It was able to provide a safe, reliable transportation system for its students, faculty, and staff. And you were able to free up parking spots without spending as much money as you would to build a parking garage.
I mean, you said it right there. We'd save money. We'd preserve safety both for students and the faculty. I mean, I think overall it's a very great program.
So now that I know that you like the program, I want to talk about maybe one of the biggest pains of any sort of discussion like this, and that's price. And here at Enterprise, we want to make price not a pain. So for 3 of our energy efficient vehicles, it would cost your university a one-time payment of $10,000. For 6 of those vehicles, it would cost your university $17,500. And for 12 of those vehicles, it would cost your university $30,000. Now, these vehicles are the best of the best, all of which get at least 28 miles per gallon. And so they are extremely fuel efficient and will help save students money.
Okay.
Do you have any questions about anything that I've gone over today?
Not that I can think, not necessarily questions, but I don't know. I mean, I really like it as an innovation officer. I think it's, incredibly innovative, but I mean, I don't know, this semester has been crazy and we have a lot of projects going on right now. And we kind of started working towards this parking garage and kind of things are falling into place for that. I just don't know if we have the capacity to bring on, another huge process such as this one.
So I think you brought it up there, but if I could just get a little bit more clarification, you just don't think that your university would be able to implement this as smoothly as they would like, or is it you don't think it?
I mean, money's tight, and we've started with the parking garage, and I don't know if we're able to back out. I don't know. What do you think?
Well, I mean, as a salesman, I certainly think you should come with us.
Right.
But from what we've talked about today, I really do think that Enterprise Car Share provides you a significant more return on investment than a parking garage ever could. So first and foremost, you talked about having not enough time to complete large projects. Well, I'm sure that a parking structure that costs $8 million is a very large process. And like we talked about earlier, construction is almost as unreliable as public transport.
Yeah.
So there really is no true timeline on when that parking structure could be completed. With Enterprise Car Share, we could have you these vehicles by next week, and the parking issues could start to be resolved by next week. So I think that might be a more enticing option than having to dedicate so much time and money to a parking garage that's inevitably going to fill up when the university gets bigger.
Right. I didn't realize how fast you guys could have. I mean, I think you guys could get your cars to us faster than we could even deny the proposal from the construction company. I'll tell you what, I like that. And another thing that, is different between car shared parking, like there's the safety aspect. Like people's cars just get broken into sometimes, because I mean, we're in the middle of the city. I don't know, I really also like the return on investment. I think you answered my question. I think the choice is obvious. Parking garage, $8 million, car share, $30,000. The math is simple.
And I think that's great to hear for me, especially. And, I just want to highlight that the parking isn't going to be the only issue that's fixed with the implementation of enterprise car share. We are going to talk about more efficient faculty travel.
Yeah.
You're going to give your students more reliable options when coming to class. So yes, we solve the parking garage issue right now, but you're also helping set yourself up to solve multiple other issues moving forward. So to me, it's sounding like UMKC might want the opportunity to do some work with Enterprise, and Enterprise would certainly love the opportunity to partner with UMKC. So are you willing to move forward today?
If you can save me $8 million, I'd love to move forward.
Well, I love to hear that, and I definitely think I can help save you some of that money. I'm going to go ahead and pass over my business card. If you have any questions, I am going to email over a bunch of forms and documents so that we can finalize this process moving forward. How about we hop on a quick call sometime next week, maybe Monday or Tuesday?
I can do Monday at 2. Does that work for you?
Monday at 2 works for me. We'll hop on a quick call, make sure we're all finalized, and then hopefully I'll have those cards out to you within the week.
Awesome. Thank you, Gabe.
Well, thank you very much, Dr. Aguilera. Have a good rest of your day.
I will. You too. I will talk to you. I'll talk to you in a couple days.
All righty, will do. All right, I'm gonna have to steal that business card back. That was my dad's.